Hello students, welcome back to our Python programming course. Today we are going to discuss about decision making in Python. So before learning Python decision making statements, let's think about our daily life. From morning to night, we continuously make decisions. Like for example, when we wake up and see dark clouds, we decide whether to carry an umbrella or not. If I take another example, like before crossing a road, we check whether vehicles are coming or not. And before buying something, we check whether we have enough money or not. In all these situations, we first check a condition and then take an action. So, computers work in exactly the same way. A program also needs to make decisions. Sometimes it should execute one block of code, and sometimes it should execute another block. To achieve these, Python provides decision making statements. So, today we are going to learn about if statements, if else statement, elif statement, nested conditions, ternary expressions. So these concepts are extremely important because almost every real world applications use them. So first we are going to discuss about if statement. So let's start with the simplest decision making statement in Python, which is if statement. Imagine your college announces if a student scores more than 35 marks, it displays pass. Now think carefully, will everyone student get pass? No. So only students satisfying the condition should get pass. This is exactly where the if statement is used. An if statement tells Python, execute this code only if the condition is true. Think of it like a security guard. The security guard checks whether a person has an ID card or not. If the person has an ID card, he allows entry. Otherwise, he does nothing. Similarly, Python first checks the condition. If the condition is true, the code will be executed. If the condition is false, Python simply skips that block. For example, I'll take an example. So, this is the syntax of the if statement, and this is the block diagram. Now, let us see an example. So, for running the code, I am using an online version of the Python by Programize. You can go to Chrome and just click on the Python online compiler by Programize. So for the if statements, I'm taking marks equal to 30. So here, what I have done, I have taken a variable called marks and I have assigned it to a value 30. So in the next line, I have checked the condition if marks greater than or equal to 35. So here the variable marks contains a value of 30. So internally the Python will check this like 30 is 30 greater than or equal to 35. No, no, right? So it does not print anything. Therefore, Python skips the print statement. No output will be displayed. This is the basic idea of the if statement. And next, importance of indentation. So one mistake beginners make is forgetting indentation. Python uses indentation to identify which statements belongs to the if block. For example, if true, print of hello. The print statement is indented. Therefore, Python understands it belongs to the if block. If indentation is missing, Python becomes confused and throws an error. So always remember guys, indentation is not optional in Python. It is mandatory. So for example, here the print statement has indentation. I have taken a tab space. If I not given this space, then what will happen? It will throws an error. So see, print of pass expected and indented block after if statement. Okay, indentation is very important and it is compulsory in Python. And next, comparison operators. Whenever we write conditions, we need operators, right? So these operators compare values. For example, if if age is greater than 18 and marks is greater than or equal to 35, salary double equal to 5,000. These comparisons return either true or false, and Python uses that result to make decisions. So these comparison operators we have covered in the previous classes. You can refer the classes if you want to learn about them. And next, if else statement. Now let's think about a real world situation. Suppose your teacher announces if your score above 35, you will pass the exam. Otherwise, you fail. Now there are two possibilities, either pass or fail. So one of them must happen, right? This is where if else is useful. The if block handles the true case and the else block handles the false case. For example, if I taken marks equal to 25 and the pass condition is marks will be must be greater than 35, so it output will be false, right? This is the syntax of if else, and you can see there is indentation, and this is the block diagram. Now let me give an example. So I'm taking the above example, and next I'm just using the else part. So here it is showing fail. So is 30 greater than or equal to 35? So the answer is no, right? So it will be fail. Therefore, Python executes the else block. So the output is fail. The beauty of if else is that one block is guaranteed to execute, either if runs or else runs. So, some of the real world examples are, consider an ATM machine. When you withdraw money, the ATM checks your balance. If balance is sufficient, transaction successful. Otherwise, insufficient balance. So, this is exactly an if else decision making condition, right? You can run this example too and check the answer. And next one is elif statement. So, now imagine a grading system. Students don't get only pass or fail. They can get A grade, B grade, C grade, or fail. Now there are multiple possibilities. Using only if else becomes difficult, right? So that's why Python provides an elif. The word elif means else if. It allows Python to check multiple conditions one after another. For example, marks equal to 82. Python first checks marks is greater than or equal to 90. No. Then it checks marks greater than or equal to 75. Yes. Therefore, Python prints grade B and immediately stops checking further conditions. This is important. Python always executes the first matching condition and ignores the remaining ones. So let us take an example for elif. So I'm just reusing this code. Okay, I have forgotten colon. Okay, the output is C. How? Here I have taken marks equal to 30. So the first if block, which is saying the marks should be greater than or equal to 35. So it is not satisfying the if condition and it will go to the elif. So here saying marks, if marks greater than or equal to 20, then it will print C. So yes, we are having a marks of 30 and it is greater than or equal to 20. So it will print C. Or else if we are having a value of 45, then it will be printed as fail. You see, fail. So Python always executes the first matching condition and ignores the remaining ones. Okay, this is the block diagram of the elif. You can do this example too. So why elif is better than multiple if statements? Many beginners write like if marks greater than or equal to 90, print A, and next if marks greater than or equal to 80, then print B. So both conditions. So if I take marks as 100, so here if condition is satisfied, this if condition is also satisfied. Marks is greater than or equal to 90, 100 is greater than or equal to 90, and 100 is greater than or equal to 80. So both conditions becomes true and the output will be A and B. So this is wrong. The student cannot get two grades at the same time, right? Using elif solves this problem because Python stops after finding the first true condition and it will not go to the next condition block. Okay. And next one is nested conditions. Now let's discuss nested conditions. The word nested means something inside something else. Something inside something else. Think about a bank locker. Inside the locker, there may be another small box. Similarly, one condition can be placed inside another condition. This is called a nested condition. So, for example, imagine a voting system. To vote, a person must be at least 18 years old and must be a citizen. So, both conditions must be satisfied. So, first we check age, then inside the condition we check the citizenship. So, this is the syntax of the nested if conditions, and this is the block diagram you can check. Now, we are going to solve a problem. So I have taken age equal to 21. Terminated string literal. So here there is an error in the India. So can you tell me what is the error is? Here in the India, I have forgotten to add a single colon. So the output is eligible to vote because the age is 21. So which means the age is greater than or equal to 18 and the citizenship is also from the India in which both the conditions is satisfied. So it will printing the output as eligible to vote. For example, if age is 15, then it will print the output as not eligible. Okay. The real life examples of the nested if statements is, for example, login systems. Whenever you log into Instagram, Gmail, or Facebook, first the system checks is the username correct. Only if it is correct, does it check. So, is the password correct? This is a perfect example of the nested conditions. I have provided multiple examples for each conditions. You can go through it. Next, ternary expression. So now let's learn a shortcut method. Suppose we write if age greater than or equal to 18, result equal to adult, else result equal to minor. So this requires multiple lines, right? Python gives a shorter version called a ternary expression. So which means we can write the expression as like this. Result equal to adult if age greater than or equal to 18, else minor. So all the above statements can be written in one single line, which will reduce the space complexity. So both programs produce the same result. The second version simply uses fewer lines. Think of it as a shortcut method. So when should we use ternary expressions? Use them when the conditions is simple. For example, status equal to pass if marks greater than or equal to 35, else fail. Very easy to read, right? So avoid using them for complicated logic. If the condition becomes large, readability decreases. So in such cases, use if, elif, else, and nested. Okay. Let us see an example for the ternary expressions. Instead of doing this, we can simply write in one single line. Like first, we'll assign age equal to 15. I'm taking a variable called result and assigning it to adult only if age is greater than or equal to 18 or else it should must print minor. So it is saying minor because age is 15. So instead of writing 5 to 6 lines for these, we can use ternary operations. So syntax we have seen. So this is the block diagram for the ternary operator. You can go through it. So summary, the final summary, if statement is to execute code when condition is true. If else, choose between two blocks. Elif, check multiple conditions at the same time. Instead, if condition inside another condition, ternary expression is for the shorthand version of if else. So there are some practical programs you can go through it once. And these are very easy programs like check pause to number means If any number is greater than 0, it will be positive. If any number is less than 0, it will be negative, right? So just writing up the statement, we can give the output. Check even or odd. If a number is percentile by 2, it will give a result even. Here, what is percentile does? It gives the remainder, right? We have also discussed these operators. The remainder will give remainder. And next, find the largest of two numbers. So if the first number is greater than second number, we will print the first number as largest, else we will print the second number as largest. And next, program for grade calculator. So we are taking input from the user, marks, and we are checking these marks with multiple if, else, and else statements. If marks is greater than 90, we will print grade A, or else grade B, or else grade C. If it is less than 50, we will print fail. Voting eligibility, we have covered this. So the final conclusion is to decision making is one of the most important concepts in Python. Without a decision making statements, login systems cannot work, ATM machines cannot work, online shopping websites cannot work, and AI applications cannot work. Games cannot work. Every intelligent application uses decision making. The five concepts you must master are if statements, if else, elif, nested, and ternary expression. Once you understand these concepts, your program becomes smart enough to make decisions just like humans. So please go through these programs once and check, are you able to do these programs? So if not, just please go through the documentation. This documentation is available in the description box. So I hope you like this video. Thank you for today.